How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2 of our Dare to Be Different series. Today we're picking back up with the topic of customer service. Not just any type of customer service, but Raving Fans customer service. Jacob, can you tell the viewers, elaborate more on this type of service?
Yeah, so Raving Fans is a concept that if you spend any amount of time at Diamond C, you'll hear us talking about. It's not something that we just dreamt up one night, late at night, trying to figure out something else to complicate things, right?
Yes.
We actually got hooked on this crazy simple idea concept through a book called Raving Fans that a man named Ken Blanchard wrote. It's been around for a while. He actually published it originally back in '93. If you haven't heard about it, I encourage anybody out there to check it out. If you're not much of a reader, don't miss out. Don't be intimidated because it's a book to read, right?
Yes.
It's a super simple read. It doesn't take a long time. It's not a typical 400-page business book. It's a really easy concept to grasp. But it's not something I'm going to sit here either and pretend like we execute perfectly.
Yes.
To think that you're going to execute it perfectly is kind of it's absurd. I mean, anybody in a service industry or manufacturing or any type of business, perfection is non-existent. Perfection is the enemy of progress in a lot of cases. But anyways, I can assure you though, if you put forth a valiant effort in walking the Raving Fans concept out, it will have a significant impact on your business. It has had a tremendous impact on Diamond C's business. Again, we're not perfect, but it has had a tremendous impact.
Cool, man. Well, let's go ahead and break down the definition of a Raving fan. And what does it mean to you?
So the textbook definition of a raving fan is way more than just a return customer. Now, a lot of businesses strive to create a return customer or a content customer, a happy customer. But a raving fan is way more than that. A raving fan is someone who cannot help but tell someone else about your product or service. And in turn, a raving fan becomes your number one salesperson.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what's crazy? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that's why sometimes with some of these big companies, if you think about it, you don't really hear or see any commercials. When was the last time we saw a Chick-fil-A commercial?
Very seldom. They've started a little more lately, but very seldom do you see one.
Yeah.
And it seems like every few commercials is a McDonald's commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of thing.
And Starbucks as well, because people do their own marketing.
Yeah. The glory thing about a raving fan being your number one salesperson, they're not even on your payroll.
Yes.
You're not even having to pay them. The concept applies to all. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're selling, if you're selling cups, or if you're producing food or producing trailers, the concept applies to all.
Yes.
And don't want to be naive to think that you'll win every customer, or you'll create a raving fan out of every customer. You're not going to. But the businesses that take this seriously and kind of walk it out again, without a doubt, it can have a profound impact on your business.
So how does someone take this from it just being a concept to an actual application? Because it sounds easy, but if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right?
For sure. And parts of it seem like, my gosh, that's common sense, but it's just kind of being intentional and walking through it. So the book boils it down to 3 Ds: decide, discover, and deliver.
Yes.
So when you get to the decide, what that's saying is, you've got to be somewhat introspective of your business and figure out what you want that customer experience to look like. Oftentimes, the level of the bar of the customer's expectation is already set low based on the majority of your competition.
Exactly.
Just seeking satisfied customers, which is kind of worse thing, because it's like, well, as long as I'm no worse than the next guy, we're good.
Yeah, the standard is low.
Yeah.
But another thing I want to bring up is that many of the great companies, they're proactive. And then the other ones, the ones that are taking more lenient, they're reactive.
Exactly. There's no doubt about that. It just kind of dealing with things as they come versus really designing your customer experience. And that's where the difference is in the details of the customer experience. The challenge that comes with deciding is be aware of what your customers are not saying about you just as much as what they are saying about you, because what they're not saying is meaning that they're not going and telling other people about you. They're not leaving raving reviews online. They're not, you can ask for that feedback. Don't be scared to ask for that feedback during a customer transaction. Dream big. Don't hold back in thinking of what you would like your customer experience to be like. Include your whole team, whether it's your service team, and conceptualizing what that experience could be. Like, ask them their opinion, ask your customer their opinion. Try and really design what you feel like would be the ultimate customer experience.
So that was decide. Next is discover, correct?
Yeah. So discover is the best way to talk about discover is kind of the challenge of it. Figuring out a way to intently listen to what your customers have to say or what they want from you. There'll be good ideas, there'll be crazy ideas. I mean, customers oftentimes are looking at your business and what experience they had in ways that you would never think about. So that's the great thing. The challenge becomes sifting through those and paying attention to the details of what the customer is telling you. Find the value adders in places that the pieces of information they're giving you, breaking them down and figuring out ways that you can add value to the experience. And a lot of times it doesn't cost a lot to do that. And sometimes there'll be bigger things that you have to invest in, but a lot of the changes can be very low cost value adders. So just be open and adjust in adjusting your vision based on the feedback you get.
Okay, and how does a business receive feedback? You wouldn't probably say.
So you can do that. Yeah. I mean, it's simply even just asking for it. We mentioned you ask for it at the end of the sale. You could create a little easy poll. You could send a email, after the fact to them.
Survey.
There's tons of survey services online that you can use. A little card, about their experience. Anything.
Okay.
There's just tons of different ways that you can get that feedback.
Lastly, it's time to deliver. The book mentions plus 1%. What does that mean?
So the plus 1% is key. It's over and above. You've done the decide, which is where you are figuring out what you want it to be.
Okay.
You've discovered what your customers are asking for, and when it comes to delivery, that plus 1% is keying in on what you decide to move forward with and making dang sure that you do a really good job at it, going over and above that plus 1%. It can be a daunting big initiative that you've put together, or it could be you could start with kind of a smaller request to get this ideology, this strategy in place.
Okay.
But the main thing you have to do is make sure that your team and your organization are bought in, trained, and ready to execute at a plus 1% on this new strategy.
Yes.
So then it takes it a step further. Once this is in place and it's effective and you're seeing it play out, now it's on to the next one. You can implement this time after time, kind of, not to overload the wagon, so to speak, but you can use this in different areas of your business, whether it's on the sales side, the service side, the product offering. You can use this strategy in multiple areas.
Yes. Okay. Man, that's awesome, man. I can think about a few companies that truly represent this concept, such as Apple or Southwest Airlines, and not even global. I can think about some local companies here in Mount Pleasant, such as Joe's, Nardello's, that I keep on going back with my business just because of their customer service.
Yeah, dang right. It doesn't come easy. But the funny thing, I read a quote the other day on my 10-year-old's workout mat, of all places. And it said, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So I don't know if you've ever been, mentally slapped by a kid's workout mat, but dang, it spoke volumes,
Yes.
on a personal growth level, but also it applies to business as well. If you don't embrace a strategy like this that creates challenges you to be better, to serve better, then don't expect change. Don't expect a change, or don't expect this miraculous, influx of business, or this change in your ratings online.
Exactly.
So you deliver average service, you're going to get average results.
Exactly.
Deliver +1 and create raving fans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, I think we should give the viewers a challenge. What do you think?
I think so. We're good at giving challenges out. Well, the challenge on this one is to think of 5 brands or companies, globally, nationally, locally, whatever, and ask yourself, why do you continue to work with them? Why do you continue to patronize their business? Why do is it because they're fast? Is it because they deliver quality? Is it because it's a luxury item? Are they user-friendly? Do they deliver top-notch customer service? Ask yourself those questions.
Yes.
And then you can use that information to help fuel your Raving Fans.
Exactly, yeah. And take some of those concepts,
Exactly.
But that's awesome, dude. So make sure to comment those responses down below. We would love to hear those responses. But like always, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.